two stories, and they're both mine. One is a horror story with crypto, and one is actually a very positive story, and where I've reaped the benefits of it. The first one is, look, I first started to get into crypto after that big pump in 2017 with Bitcoin, and a lot of hype, a lot of people getting around it. I was in my second year of uni, and I was like, all right, I'm working construction, I'm paying my taxes, I'm doing my usual thing by the book. And when it comes to the portfolio I'd set up, I started listening to some YouTubers and sort of listening, okay, maybe I should diversify my portfolio, and started setting up wallets and all that. All in all, over the course of about a year, I put about 10 to 15,000 into crypto, and I started day trading. Yeah, which, and Bish is laughing because he's like, mate, big mistake. So the net loss in all of that is I ended up losing like 10 grand. I was emotional about my trading. I learnt a lot. I learnt a lot about the emotion behind trading, when to put in and when not to put in. I learnt a lot about the FOMO feeling, the fear of missing out that a lot of people get when they're like monitoring and they got notifications on their phone and whatever. The net result of that was I lost 10 grand back in 2017, 2018. 10 grand I really needed. I then was like, okay, crypto's not backed by anything. It's not good. It's not this and that. Started looking, I bought into gold, and I just sort of put it there and I forgot about it. And then then it spiked again. And I was like, I took another look at it. I started following it. I didn't put money into it until last year. And I realized that there's actually a skill set with regards to this. There is a skill set. You shouldn't be monitoring the crypto markets every day. If you're monitoring it, if you're emotionally trading, you will make a mistake. Not you might, you will make a mistake. And that, I consider that 10 grand very well spent. It was like I went to a trading school, and I had to monitor the news and monitor my emotions. I got to know myself really well. But the net result of that was, I lost 10K, 10 to 15K. Now I'm telling that to people so you guys get, no bull crap here. That's what your experience will be if you actually try to do this yourself without any guidance whatsoever and just following YouTubers. So I've been there, I've done that. The positive story is last year, I did a bit of trading. I had a bit of, I started to slowly dip my toe in the market. Someone donated to me a Bitcoin. They donated a whole Bitcoin back when it was 45,000, mid last year, early to mid last year. And with the knowledge that I had, I was like, I know where the market's going. I know where things are happening. And with the knowledge of the my own emotional state with regards to trading, over the course of June last year till March this year, I traded that coin. And as you know, Bitcoin reached 110,000 Aussie dollars over that period of time. I bought and sold it just in little bits. I pretty much only set and forget it. I sold little bits off when it was at the right moment. Over the course of that coin's life, I sold it at $105 out of it. That's $105,000 is the value I got out of it. And the peak price in that period was 110,000. Now you're probably listening to that and you're like, that's a pretty good job, Joel. That is partly how I was able to afford this setup that we're sitting in.
Love that.
I don't have it. I'm looking to get more Bitcoin, but the point is that's how, what you guys are enjoying here, the studio setup, what I've been setting up, the office, the war room. It wasn't just from your donations. It was also from my knowledge of crypto trading and being able to build what you see around you. And I've wanted to hold off on telling you about this because I want you to have the right guidance, because as I said in the first example, you can have a real horror story with regards to it without the proper guidance. I don't want you to go through what I went through, where you might not put 10 grand in or 15 grand in like I did. You might put 100 in. You might put $1 million in.
That'd be nice.
Try and day
$1 million in.
But then try and day trade it.
Don't do that. Well, congratulations, man. You've really shown what the power of Bitcoin's all about. Like this, congratulations, dude. That's really impressive.
No, look, and as you know, man, look, I'm hoping to, I'm hoping to put a lot more into crypto. Unfortunately for my sake, Bisher remarked to me yesterday at the conference. He's like, Joel, throw everything you've got into Bitcoin. Now's the time. And I want to. Don't get me wrong. I really, really want to. But unfortunately, the last this year has been nuts. I was just doing an accounting of all the, I was just talking to Rami about all the achievements we've done this year with regards to, and one line is like an election. So there's about 15 major achievements we've had this year, including obviously, you know, all the Libertarians we got elected in New South Wales and Victoria and local elections, the misinformation bill, the submissions we all did, the defeat of that, all these different skirmishes around. There's about 15 major ones this year. And I'm behind about maybe 30 to 40 grand right now. So I'm like, I don't have a lot of savings, but we have some great wins on the books.
Right.
But when I do get out of this hole, I 100% want to be looking at Bitcoin. I want to be looking at what's going on there so that I can get more involved politically.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so because we want the legislation in Australia to not go the direction of stuff like the misinformation bill. We want it towards individual liberties, freedom. We don't want this sort of legislation like we saw with the Anti-Money Laundering Act. We want to see freedom with regards to this stuff. And so, so that's why I want to connect everyone with Stormrake, because you guys are very much experienced hands. You've been at this as longer than I have, and you've got a great team around you. Many of whom I've actually met. I've met 3 of your colleagues,
Nice.
and they're great people. I've met the traders. They're very competent people. They're always traveling around Australia, and I'm really looking forward to it. And you don't have to just be in Australia.
That's right.
To have your services as well.
Correct.
Mate, did you have anything to add from that little rant?
Oh man, I'm so happy to hear what Bitcoin has done for you, because like for me, it's given me a business, it's given my family financial freedom. My wife doesn't have to work. I retired my mum a couple of years ago, and as any Lebanese man should, we should always retire our mothers. They shouldn't be working. So I did the right thing. You know, she doesn't have to work again, which is awesome.
Oh, bless you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's thanks to BTC, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, this is the financial revolution I'm talking about. And the fact that you guys, amongst others, like, you know, Tim from Beat the Reset is a near and dear friend of mine who was, war gaming against the misinformation, disinformation bill. He actually got us connected in the first place a few months ago, which was awesome. So shout out Tim from Beat the Reset. And look, at the end of the day, we're here to help liberate people. Bitcoin is freedom money. Right, it's separate from the state, it's separate from any government on the planet, and that's really powerful. So if you want to protect your freedom of speech, you need to have freedom of wallet, and you need to have freedom of wealth, and the easiest way to do that, ladies and gentlemen, is BTC, because when you're wealthy, nobody can tell you what to say or what you can do.
Amen to that. Now, look, the last question I've got to answer, because, you know, a lot of people have, this is the one question, major question we got on the Rumble before it went down. Someone said, okay, Joel, that's all great, but what about taxes? And to that you remarked, I don't want to hear about the tax side. Talk to your accountants.
That's right. I'm a crypto broker through and through, ladies and gentlemen. Look at me. I'm the textbook crypto broker, right? Yeah. You don't want to have me as your accountant. I can recommend a few names if you want a tax specialist who works in cryptocurrency, specializes in cryptocurrency tax for Australians. I'd be more than happy to give you a recommendation. But I'm not a tax guy. I'm a crypto broker, so I'm the best at what I do when it comes to getting you in and out of crypto investments, making sure your portfolio is managed correctly, giving you safe access and secure access to the markets. That's what I specialize in. Taxes, you need to go to an accountant, and if you want one, I can recommend one.
That's awesome. Guys, from a personal perspective with me, I mean, you know what's great? I have those capital losses back from 2017. I can
call them forward.
Yeah, because it's an investment, guys. Yeah. When it's treated as an investment on the accounting books. Obviously, speak to your accountant about this and they'll run you through it all. But for me, I had that 10 to 15 grand loss back in 2017. If I have capital gains later, I can use that to offset.
100%.
And so that helps reduce taxes and everything. But you do have to... you'd have to declare these things to your accountants, to sort it out with your accountants, the right way to structure it so you can minimize your taxes. Nothing wrong with minimizing your taxes. The government, it's not like they're spending your money very good, as Kerry Packer remarked.
Correct.
And so look, that's between you and your accountants. I hope that works out really well for you, but there's no reason why.
And to add to that, our fees are GST inclusive, so any fees you pay us, you can claim back in come tax time as well. And what's also really important to note is that we'll give you really comprehensive reporting at the end of financial year for all all of your accounts with us. So you might have a super fund, an SMSF that you're needing to pass audit. We'll give you a comprehensive CSV as well as a holdings report. That's really easy for you to just hand over to your accountant and go through, and that'll be provided for all the accounts that you hold with Stormrake whilst you're investing in crypto. So majority of our high net wealth clients' investments actually occurs through the SMSF vehicle or a family trust is where most of those ones are going through. We've had no issues passing audit through all of them. And these are pretty heavily regulated entities that have to have pretty stringent reporting requirements. And then if you're investing through like a corporate account or an individual account, there's not as much due diligence and focus on those kind of types of accounts, but nonetheless we'll still provide you the same reports that you can be able to just hand over to your accountant, say here's what I'm doing with my crypto, and it's an absolute breeze. It gets done in 10 minutes, so there's no stress when it comes to the investing, and because I'm managing that for you, and there's no stress come tax time because we'll hand over those reports, and we just keep on winning, guys. We're going to get wealthy. And that's what I love about this space.
And that's what's great about these trading platforms. You can actually export your trading so that you can give that to the accountants. They can look at that, and the accountants know what to do with this stuff. It may not seem like it sometimes, some accountants, but if your accountant doesn't know what to do with this, find a better accountant. That's and right. Bisher's got some contacts. But Rami, do we have any other questions before we close this up?
Most of the people were just asking about the accountant stuff. Yeah. Well, I've got actually a horror story.
I hope you enjoyed that particular clip from my conversation with the crypto guys at Stormrake. Again, I'm a big fan of crypto. I think that was a really interesting conversation we had in giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly with regards to the industry. But these guys can help hold your hand in the particular industry and show you some tactics, help you understand when to go, when to not go, and understand the fundamentals of the particular industry as well. If you want to open an account with them, click the link in my description, click the link in my bio, and you can get started today with no matter how much or how little you want to go in with. I'll see you guys later.